Hi, I am Vaishnavi Mure, a data science and business analytics intern at the Sparks Foundation. Today, I would like to share the first task of my internship, that is prediction using supervised machine learning. But before going towards the task, I would like to talk about machine learning and supervised machine learning briefly. So, machine learning is a field of computer science that gives computers or machines the ability to learn by themselves. That is, computers and machines learn without being explicitly programmed. And this is a subset of AI. That is, machine learning is a subset of AI, and it is further subdivided into supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, and reinforcement learning. But as this problem is mainly focused on supervised machine learning, I will be talking about supervised machine learning only. So, in supervised machine learning, based on the past experiences, that is, based on the input and output of previous data, we will be predicting the output of provided data. No worries if you didn't understand it. By looking towards this problem, we will understand it in detail. So, supervised machine learning is further subdivided into regression and classification. So regression problems are the problems of supervised machine learning in which we have to predict the continuous spectrum of output. That is, in regression, the output is in continuous range. And in classification problems, the output are present in classes or categories. So let's look towards this task now. So the steps which I follow while solving any machine learning problem or data science problem is the first step is like understand the problem. So the problem here is predict the percentage of a student based on the number of study hours. So after analyzing this problem, it is pretty sure that, or it is quite clear that there are only two variables. That is the number of study hours and the percentage, where the percentage is dependent on the number of study of hours. That is, the hours or the study hours are independent variable and percentage are dependent variable. So this problem is quite simple. Now that we have understand the problem, the next step comes like find the source of data. So here, as Sparks Foundation gave me the link from where I can download the data or just read the data, there is no step for finding the source of data. So we will move towards next step, that is loading the data. So for loading the data, I have imported pandas library, and then I'm using read underscore CSV method of pandas and pass the link to it. So this read underscore CSV method is reading the data from the provided link and it is returning a data frame to us, which I have stored it in this df variable. Now when I'm printing df.head, the first 5 rows of the data set are getting printed. So from here we can understand that there are only two columns. First one is hours, another is scores. So basically hours column is the number of study of hours and scores are the percentage. So now that we have loaded the data, the next step comes to explore the data, because in this data set, there might be some impurities, like there might be some null values, there might be some string data, there might be a lot of work to be done before using the data. So that's why exploring the data is very much important. So now I am using this info method over my data frame, which is returning the information like the range of index. Like here, there are 25 entries, of whom the index ranges from 0 to 24, and they have two columns, hours and scores. All the entries are present there. That is, there is not a single null entries in this data set. That is, we don't need to do a lot of work before using this data. Then I'm also doing this df.describe, which is describing my data in detail. So after doing this exploration of data, I'm moving towards visualization of data. Now, visualizing data also gives us a lot of clarity over the data, like how the features are interrelated with each other, or which features are important, which are not, and how the data set is trying to tell some story to us, kind of say. So here, for the visualization purpose, I have imported this matplotlib, and from here, I'm trying to plot the scatter plot, where I've passed the R's and scores. So as I said that R's are independent, I have kept it on the x-axis, and as scores are dependent, I have kept it on y-axis. and we can see that the relation of R's with score is pretty linear. And that's why this visualization of data gave me the idea that I should use a linear model, or in short, a model which is having a linear function. And that's why I came up with a solution that, as it is a regression problem, that the output is in continuous range, as well as the features are having linear relationship with each other, I'm going to select the linear regression model. So the step 5 comes model selection and model training. So as I said that why I have selected the linear regression model, now let's move toward the model training part. So here before training the model, I have to split the input and output separately. So the input are the independent features. So here the independent feature is R's. So I have extracted that feature and I have put it into the X variable. And output or the target column is scores column because it is dependent on the R's. So I have taken it from the data set and I have put it into the Y variable. Now, after running it, when I'm printing this head, we will be able to see that our data got splitted correctly. Then moving further, for training the model, we have to split this data into training and testing parts, because we are going to train the model based on the training part and we are going to test it based on the testing part. So for that, I have imported model selection from sklearn, and from that also have imported train test split. So this train test split takes the input and output variable and split it into training and testing part. I have kept this random state is equal to 0 because every time whenever I will be running it, the same entries will be splitted. After splitting, when I'm checking the length, we are able to see that out of the 24 entries, 18 entries are given to the training part and 7 entries are given to the testing part. As I haven't mentioned the test size into the train test split function, by default 75% of the data went to the training part and 25 went to the testing part. Now I'm selecting the model. Okay. After selecting the model, I have to fit the training data to it. But if I'm trying to fit it directly, I'm getting some error like these arrays are 1D arrays and the fit wants 2D arrays and the message displayed this thing that I need to reshape it. So that's why I have reshaped it here, all the training and testing part, and then I am fitting the model. So here my model training got finished. After that, I'm just looking towards the best fit line my model has got. So this we can do by this method that I am getting the coefficient and intercept, and we know that linear regression or the equation of line is y is equal to mx plus c. So based on that, here m is my coefficient and c is my intercept, and I'm just trying to plot the best fit line over my training data and my testing data. So this gives me a clear idea that, okay, I'm going in the right direction. Moving ahead, now that my model got trained, I have to test my model. And for that, I'm just first of all checking the score over the testing. So it is 93%. Now I'm predicting the result. And after predicting, there was a question in this task that what will be the predicted score if a student studies for 9.25 hours per day? And for solving this problem, I need to pass this 9.25 to my model, obviously, to predict. So as it is just a number, I have to convert it into array. And as it is after converting also, it will be a single dimensional array. I need to reshape it because the same error we got previously. So it will get again if we don't do this. So after doing this, when I'm passing this user input, like I have stored this in user input variable, when I'm passing the user input, I'm getting some answer. And when I'm printing its zeroth index, zeroth part, I'm getting 93.89 as the percentage. So for students studying for 9.25 hours a day, his or her percentage will be 93.89. So that was the end of this task. Thank you.